Kranz's team struggles to figure out how to power up a frozen spacecraft on a shoestring. Every engineer wants his system on, but John Aaron knows there won't be enough electricity to go around.
I'll never forget the landing and recovery guide. I was not going to turn on the emergency rescue beacon. He says, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. If you don't turn that beacon on and they don't come down exactly where we want them, we'll never find those guys. I said, look, guys, my only job is to find an ocean, to hit any ocean. If I can get them in the ocean, surely you can find them. That was the level of negotiations that went on for the next 3 days.
Kranz's controllers work for 3 days and nights, planning a complicated power-up that's never been done before.
At the very last moment, I have to evacuate from the lunar module, rapidly power up the command module, initialize the computer, close the hatches, assure I'm in the proper orientation, then blow the pieces apart. This is a checklist that's going to be several hundred steps long.
It was getting tight, and so I started to query Mission Control. Is the checklist ready? Is the checklist ready?
Finally, Kranz's team has the plan.
The standard entry checklist on page 2-2, where it starts with P61.
Page 2-2.
The emergency batteries come back to life. The crew jettisons the service module to begin re-entry. Then they see the damage.
And there's one whole side of that spacecraft missing.
We were quite concerned. We couldn't believe that this thing drifting by was our spacecraft.
Everyone now realizes the explosion was only a few feet away from the heat shield. Even the slightest crack in that shield, and Apollo 13 may disintegrate during re-entry.
We didn't talk much about it because there was nothing we could do about it.
Re-entry begins, and with it, radio blackout. Will 13 burn up from a damaged heat shield? Will the frozen parachutes open? Mission Control won't know until blackout ends.
Now, blackout is a very difficult time for every controller because we've done everything that we humanly can, and now there are no more give-backs.
The trench has calculated the exact second blackout should end, and they'll be able to hear the crew again, if they're still alive.
The clock counted down through 0.
And I say, okay, Joe, give him a call. And Kerwin calls, Odyssey Houston, standing by.
Odyssey Houston, standing by, over.
Apollo 13, this is Houston.
13, do you read? This is Houston, over.
Nothing.
I said, Richter, are the clocks right? And he says, yeah, Flight, they're right.
Is this it? Is this all there is?
Damn it, we got these guys back and that heat shield has failed. My gosh, where have you been?
Odyssey Houston, we show you on the page. It really looks great.
The most beautiful sight I've ever seen is the command module dangling on those 3 chutes.
I was crying. It was really hard to stop from crying at that time. And I sit down at the chair and I rub my eyes because I'm embarrassed in front of my team to let them know that I've lost it.
The rescue of Apollo 13 was Mission Control's finest hour. When these engineers said, "Failure is not an option," that wasn't just a slogan. They meant it literally.
When something bad happened, it was the job of each person in the control center to analyze what all of the options were. How do we get out of this? Look at all of the options, and failure was not one of them.
But there was no engineering option to repair loss of public support and political will. In December 1972, Apollo 17 ended the greatest exploration in human history.
I never look at the moon without thinking that we have been there. I never look at the moon without thinking that it was a miracle that we got there.
When I was a kid, if somebody wanted to express something so impossible, it is beyond comprehension, they say, you can't anymore do that, then you go to the moon. And there's the moon.
To this day, I go out at night and I relive that moment when I saw the crescent moon, knowing that people were walking around on it. And I yearn for the day for that to be the natural thing again.
Could we do it again? Could we, America, really do that again? It took a very clear goal mandated by the president, the backing of the Congress, the backing of the citizenry, and a bunch of stupid guys like me that didn't know that it couldn't be done.
Today, the original Mission Control room is silent, but it is not empty.
Every time you walk in that door, you can feel the events of the past.
I feel extremely proud of what we were able to do. I feel the pangs of terror that all of us faced. So I feel all of those emotions when I enter this palace.
This console here was the best part of my entire life. And I spent almost 10 years at this console. It is my life. It will always be my life. And I will never leave it behind.
After the Apollo program, Gene Kranz remained at NASA for 22 more years, through the triumphs of Skylab, the Space Shuttle, the Hubble Space Telescope, and the tragedy of the Challenger. Today, he and all the others who pioneered the art of flight control have retired. But the torch has been passed to a new generation of mission controllers, cut from the same cloth, imbued with the same spirit. Setbacks are inevitable. Like the original Brotherhood of Controllers was tested by the Apollo 1 fire, today's controllers are also being tested. But just as nothing could end man's exploration of Earth, so too will the grand adventure of space continue. And whatever distant places future generations aim for, they will be carrying on a journey that had its start at a place called Mission Control.